That's okay. I felt a lack of hype on it. You need to pump it up, man.
I'm trying, honestly.
Pump it up, more, even more.
I really want to, just try. Yeah. Referees, there's referees that, La Liga this, La Liga that, season over this, season over that, Carlo Ancelotti out. Fuck that, honestly. What does this man need to do to actually gain some respect? This is personally the biggest Clasico victory I've seen in my life. The most satisfying, the most thirst quenching. I just struggle to find adjectives to actually put this into perspective, guys. Deep this 1-0 down away from home at the Nou Camp, 4-0. 4-0. And Barcelona just gave up after the 60th minute. They fucking gave up after the 60th minute the stuff that I used to watch our team do growing up. Honestly, this is, after La Decima and probably after the Champions League run last year, the most satisfying day supporting this club in my life. Hands down. Let's go. Are we live? Hola Madridistas, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. First of all, would like to apologize for actually being super late. It wasn't in the plan to be actually a good 30 minutes late. It was actually planned to be 15 minutes late because it's Ramadan and I had to actually pray. But I guess the prayers actually worked. I'm not myself one of the most religious guys over around, but even then I still remember 15 minutes before kickoff the only thing I asked for was a miracle. Nothing more, nothing less, just a miracle. No thrashing, no Hollywood 4-0, 3-0. But this time I think the prayers just got answered, man, and in the most emphatic fashion one could ask for. A complete team performance. Kamavinga limping, that was it for me. Kamavinga limping in the first 10 minutes was like, oh my God, here we go again. This guy has been so phenomenal wherever he has been deployed, and he's refusing to come off. The way he was walking, I was wondering why isn't he coming off? But he stayed on, put in a masterclass, and dragged the team through, bro. Like, honestly, for me, one of the best lives as a Madrid supporter. Best days as a Madrid supporter in my life. Like, I couldn't ask for more. But on that note, welcome the esteemed panel, Doris and Javier. I'll first come to Doris, man. How do you feel, bro? Chef's kiss. Javier, bro. Yeah.
We did. I
We
mean,
more than knocked them out, This is like
Yeah.
knocking someone out cold.
yeah. Exactly. there is no doubt that the better team move on. I mean, uh, what else can we say? I agree with you both. This is one of those special days for us. It was, the moment that we'll be waiting for. We wait for this moment
But
for a long time. We're
I've been
back.
waiting for this moment since 2010, bro. 2010, bro.
Maybe we're back. We're back. Like you said, this is Real Madrid 2022. I mean, we're gonna talk about this later, but this Ramadan Benzema, it's almost a yearly tradition, you know.
yeah,
It's that time of the year, and Real Madrid just kicks it, you know. I and what else can we say? This team gives us so many
Last week,
ups and
last
downs, but
Go on,
but
Abe.
then it comes to the Ramadan Easter era, what the games truly matter, and they did all of the team did this. What else can we say? This is a special moment.
These guys have a tendency, right, to actually wake up in fucking April. Like, honestly, they do this time and time again, and they get away with it. Like, I'm a fan of it. Some people are not. Like pure football purists won't actually like a team actually playing in full efficiency for like last 3 months of the season. It doesn't make sense. But this is
Jacob,
yeah.
Jacob say in the chat that they can't hear you, Doris.
yeah. I fixed it immediately.
Ah, sorry.
I gave them a thumbs up. And Jacob,
Oh,
that was a when we read the comments, that's really funny. But yeah, continue, Javier.
Yeah, give your thoughts, Doris. Javier is done. Go for it.
On what exactly?
No, just a brief thought. We'll get into it deeper. The win.
yeah.
Are you taking the piss asking us what exactly?
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna repeat what I said before because they didn't hear me. And basically add on it. Last season they won, the 4-0 trophy. This season we won it, but at least we have a chance at that trophy, and we'll see about the league. But we finally knocked them out, so I'm happy.
This is supposedly the Barcelona trophy,
Yeah,
their Champions League.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we did them a number in their own turf, in their own competition. It doesn't get much better than this. The only thing better than this is actually winning the Champions League. This was like a final. This was like a proper final. But big up all of you in the chat, man. There's like Dennis has been sending in essays. Big up Dennis, always here, number one, the first
Dennis.
one to be present. The hustle, just like us, the hustle Dennis does, is actually insane. Because I see him like in other channels doing the same. Like he is the community man. Grizz sometimes calls himself the community man, but the actual community man is Dennis. He does,
That's what keeps
over time.
community alive, and
Absolutely, big up Dennis. He says one of the. I hope the comments bit is figured out, right, Doris?
yeah, we got it.
Dennis says one of the best days of my life. Vamos a ganar la Copa del Rey. Yeah, Champions League. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully that bears fruit. He also says that second half, man, was magical because of the first half. They were the better team, hands down. Yeah, for me, we barely created 2 half chances. After that, we nicked the goal, all important goal before halftime, and I think that completely swayed the momentum. He also says we have the Copa del Rey final a few days before the semis of the Champions League. Let's win this and win the fucking UCL and make this a great season. I trust us to do this as it's business time now. Yeah, facts. If this was any other period in the year, like I would say, yeah, you know what? Maybe we would get overconfident, but this period, March to May, April to June, Real Madrid is different gravy. Like they don't switch off, in my opinion, and we have seen it time and time again. hopefully we can have a little bit of luck because we definitely need a bit of luck on our side to actually pull through. He also says that Gavi kid can hold that. Yeah, he absolutely must hold that. He is always getting rattled. He is the same age as my younger brother, and he is so hot-headed. Yeah, he moves like fucking Conor McGregor, right? Like when he is not clearly not someone on the ilk of Conor McGregor. But yeah, I can't actually look down upon the confidence of the kid. Like he has abundance of confidence and potential. So well, it's all the spirit of the game. Diosama is back in the chat. Welcome back, man. He says, "Ala Madrid, we won the 4-0 trophy. Finally, yeah, the
Finally.
trophy they paraded all throughout Barcelona last year. They finally did it, Doris.
Yeah.
Is it a trophy worth winning?
I mean, over the league, definitely not. But still, we have a final to play. It's not over.
Mm.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I'm not gonna lie, it is sweet. It does feel nice. And
Beating Barcelona is always sweet.
tonight we're celebrating what we did tonight. For this tournament. We'll talk about the future.
Facts.
For tonight, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I completely share the sentiment for tonight. Like we need to be over the moon.
yeah.
Apologies to the people in the chat, man. Like if I actually lack a bit of energy because I was over the moon, literally in tears, watching us ball out because the swagger, the amount of confidence, like literally everyone from back to front had after going 2-0 up was insane. Like I couldn't believe it. Like it was just 2-1.
Mm.
A single goal kind of changes the entire momentum again because they are at home. They are actually pushing for the goal. But I honestly couldn't believe what I was watching. It was really really insane stuff. Go on, Doris.
Yeah, nothing to really say than amazing second half, and obviously the first half wasn't that great, and Barcelona were definitely the more dominant side. Even though
Mm,
I wouldn't say they had more chances, but still like those what they did with those chances, wasn't enough, and
mm.
still they were still the better team, and in the second half, I have nothing but praise, for all the players, even the
Javier,
subs.
right. Facts. I completely agree because I was gonna ask the same question to Javier. Um, just like what Doris mentioned, Javier, the lack of cutting edge from Barcelona in the first half dearly cost them, right, in the end.
Yeah, the fact that Lewandowski against Real Madrid is virtually non-existent.
One goal in
But
5 games.
but not only that, his involvement is
Mm,
almost zero. You know,
mm, mm,
in the same regard, like you can say like, oh, Rodrigo's goal against Barcelona is he has one, but his involvement seems to be so important. But the other way around is Lewandowski only, because like we're probably gonna talk this about later, but Rafinha cost them 70 millions,
Let's
and
get into it, Javier. Yeah.
okay,
Rafinha
I'm
is
gonna
so overhyped. I always knew this guy was overhyped,
okay.
like.
But they knew that, Sonny. I mean, come
Mm,
on. He used to play for Leeds United. Don't get me wrong. I don't fucking care about Leeds United. But Leeds United, 70 million is not a move on from Barcelona. He's an overpriced player, and they knew
mm.
that. And today, I mean, I think he's trying to dribble past Camavinga.
Kamavinga
And
had the easiest game of his life, honestly, and he was semi-injured as well.
yeah, but he could. We could have all wrong, Like you
Mm,
said, in the first 10 minutes, he's like limping. He's played once again out of position against
mm,
a Rafinha. That, like I said in the chat, the plan for Barcelona was simple as this:
mm,
give the ball to Rafinha, dribble Camavinga, and then across to Lewandowski. That was the entire Barcelona's plan. And the only reason that we succeed and we, get alive in the first half was because of that plan didn't work at all because Camavinga was spectacular. That guy was amazing today. He plays
Absolutely.
defensively and give all the attack to Vini. Like they say, like, okay, we're not gonna attack from the left with Cam and Vini. It's only Vini. And then Kama, completely dry out Rafinha for sure. And without Rafinha,
And his passing, man, his passing, like when I look at his stats, I'm surprised. Like he actually completed every single pass that he attempted.
I have the same stat as well. Like,
But the thing is, yeah, go ahead, read it, Javier.
I'm gonna
64
read it
touches.
because Camavinga 10 out of 14 duels won. 33 out of 33, 100%.
I'll tell you for a fact, those 4 duels, 10 out of 14, right? So I think at least a couple of those 4 duels he lost was while he was limping early in the first half,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
So it's mad, man. This guy is special. The first time I laid my eyes on him, I told the very people here, that this man is special. Like, it isn't a coincidence that he was so sought after. His calmness on the ball, his ability to actually play multiple positions, his innate sense to know when to drop back, when to actually make the run in behind. He is exceptional, man. He's exceptional. And Javier, like, don't you think his emergence as a utility player is one of the reasons why the Mendy sale campaigns are gathering momentum and making so much noise in the past couple of weeks?
It's not only that, because it's not sale with Mendy. I think they're saying they're not gonna renew his contract. Clear as that, If the team wants to have money for him, they need to sell him. But the thing that I'm reading is that they don't plan to renew the contract. So it's those one of them. But then one again, I don't want to see Camavinga completely move to the left back position.
Yeah, facts. I don't want that either, but I'm just telling you, like, Mendy's scenario, like, completely looks so fucking bleak, because I love the guy, man. He has done us bits, like, he is one of the best when he's actually fit. So yeah, like, in my opinion, Camavinga's emergence has, like, definitely laid a dent on Mendy's starting hopes. At least for this season, like, even when he comes back, like, it is going to be a month from now, so we'll be deep in the Champions League, and I don't see Mendy actually, like.
I don't think Mendy is back. They said there's gonna be at least 1 month.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, it'll be at least a month more, so that by that time, like, we'll be deep in the Champions League, right?
By the time he recovers, he's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
play minutes probably in La Liga. This La Liga games that it won't matter.
Right.
But a lot of things can happen. The hypothetical Champions League final is in what, May, June almost. So we have time to recover Mendy, but I don't think this is going to be enough, because having this Camavinga, would you rather play offensively or defensively? Against, I don't know, Napoli, because we're going to play against quote unquote inferior team, because we are on the bracket with we play Chelsea and then City or Bayern. So the other way is probably, for me, it's going to be Napoli in the final. And Napoli has played, I don't know, 0 finals in their history. Milan is a big team, but I don't think Milan, any player of this current Milan, has a lot of Champions League experience. Nonetheless, a final, Champions League. Inter probably, and I forget the other one, Benfica.
Benfica, yeah.
But they have a curse. So If Benfica
You're gonna bank on the curse. I know all about the curse, but the curse is just nonsense, man. But yeah, let's just quickly move on. Kamavinga, phenomenal performance again. Like I've lost count of the times that we have actually come on here and actually praised the kid. Whenever he's called upon, he puts in more than a 7 out of 10, and that's all you could ask for, man. He's 20 years old. You know, it is just an absolute pleasure to actually watch a kid ball out like this. Honestly, Jude Bellingham and all of that talk. Honestly, when I actually deep it, we have Kamavinga, man. Like he would like absolutely match up to Jude Bellingham in terms of talent, potential, all of that, versatility. Right. Let's just quickly get in some of the comments as well. Right, Jacob is in the chat. He's saying, didn't just slap them, we bitch slapped them. I think that's a very good way to put it, Jacob. He still has his humor sense at what, like, is it like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. back in India? Lol is back in the chat. Nice to see you again, man. He says Ramadan Benzema plus Vinny code back. Yeah, we are winning the Champions League. Plus Kamavinga is simply the greatest French player to ever exist. Even Zidane has posters of Kamavinga in France. They call him Kamapele. I think that's very good fan fiction. You should probably get it published, man. But this is great, right? Like watching Kamavinga is just I just can't actually put it into words how effortless he moves, man. Like it is honestly a pleasure to actually see him in action. Dennis the Great says, Carlo, I have to apologize. I can't believe some of our fans want that hipster Nagelsmann. Yeah, that's what you get, man. That's what you get when it's a team the size of Real Madrid. You're gonna have fans of different walks of life, and we wouldn't necessarily agree with most stuff that people think. It is part and parcel of football, unfortunately. Right. Dennis also mentioned I wanted 5. I can't even lie. Yeah. Easily could have been 3, 4, 5.
I think
Right,
we all
Doris.
did. I think we all did.
Yeah.
I think
Before-
it also
Yeah.
it could have happened, but
Mm.
Listen,
definitely.
if Rodrigo scores the course from
Oh yeah.
But don't you think Modric should attempt to finish it
Probably.
near post?
Yeah, yeah. But
He should. Like he.
if Rodrigo scored that, we would have said, what a pass, but it was,
Yeah.
it was, millimeters away.
See,
It was on the left foot of Modric.
yeah.
That's why he tends to pass to Rodrigo. Only that, because I agree with you both. I mean, Modric should try to score, and Rodrigo should reach that ball. Wasn't that far?
Now I kind of get it into perspective. In the thick of things, like for me, I personally thought probably when Ter Stegen is expecting him to actually slide the ball across, maybe going for his near post would have been the easier option. But it is just nitpicking at this point. But then the other chance, the Benzema chance, when Koundé completely misses the ball and then he gets it perfectly controlled, but the shot gets a little bit wayward. See, the chances were there, right? Like, chances were clearly there. It was 4-0 on the night. Go on, Harry.
It's almost like when you find yourself so alone in the area. I mean, he was surprised that.
Yeah, he was surprised that he got the ball. I completely understand. But the thing is,
today is nitpicking, but
yeah,
this play against these Barca in La Liga, we're in the same regard as the fail of Rodrigo. There are some games that you're allowed to fail, and
I was just reading what Jacob wrote in the chat. We are not going to even show that. Yeah, Jacob, right? Okay, just don't. Right. Ricardo is in the chat. Nice to see again, man. He says the last time he scored 4 goals against them, Raul and Guti were still playing for Madrid. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Like, me and Torres, we haven't watched them. I think Javier has, Javier is a bit more seasoned. He has watched Raul and Guti. He had the pleasure to do so. But that just puts it into perspective. It's been a while. It's been a generation, right, Javier? It's been a generation.
Basically, even
Mm.
not only a generation, because uh, the last time was I mean I I'm speak from memory, but it's not like the end of Raul Guti's era. It was in the midway of Raul Guti's era, so
Mm.
probably 2004, 5.
That's a
The
long
end of
time ago.
Galactico. Yeah, it's a very long time ago. Like
Mm.
Rodrigo or
Fenomeno was still on the side, was he?
Amavinga probably 3 years old or so.
I was in 4th grade. Doris, I don't think Doris was born. I'm just joking. Doris was probably in 1st grade or something, but yeah, it is what it is. Doris, it's fine. It's fine. It happens. That is the great says, I'm praying for Chelsea next Sunday. I watched them yesterday against Liverpool. We'll cook them. Koulibaly's career will be ended. Yeah, I completely agree with everything. I won't give Chelsea much respect. I've seen them face off against Aston Villa and Liverpool. They weren't great by any stretch of the imagination, but it's the Champions League, man. Once the floodlights come on, you never know what you can expect. Jacob says, Dennis, right? It's a conversation between them. Dio Sama says, bro, we won the 4-0 trophy. Let's go. Yeah. We just mentioned
But
it earlier.
once again, this time it actually meant something
Mm.
because
Yeah.
the 4-0 trophy for the last season was in La Liga, and we are like
It was a moral victory for
very
Barca and Xavi. Mm.
yeah, but this is a knockout.
Yeah.
We don't ever, Madridistas in the chat, don't ever let them forget that we beat them in La Copa Semi final in their home. With 3 goals of Benzema. I'm gonna get from my next stat, Sonny, if you allow me.
Yeah, go
Because
for it.
I think this is impressive.
Mm.
So
Let's actually talk about the goals. So yeah, completely go for it.
this young Brazilian guy, he's so provocative and he's not worthy.
Mm.
Well, today has 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 penalty created, 3 chances created, 3 dribbles, and 2 big chances created. But he only provoked.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like he see that's the thing. Like we can criticize him. It's almost like how we deal with our brothers and sisters. We can bully them, but we won't stand others bullying them. I have come on here multiple times and actually questioned Vinicius' maturity and his temperament. But when you see games like tonight, where he completely rolled his sleeve up and got along the business, the only time he actually lost it was the Rojo push, like when we were like 3-0 up or something, and it was like the game was done at that point. Like at that point, with him doing that, I've absolutely no issues. It's only when he is actually being frustrated and doing that's when it gets to be. But tonight, like what you said, Javier, this man just ran the show, like from start to finish. He was unplayable for large parts. Like I think his mojo and his chemistry with Benzema is completely back. Doris, do you agree?
Well, saying unplayable, that's a big word. But still, amazing game. Given the result.
You
And,
didn't think Vinicius was unplayable?
I think it was the effort of the entire
Because
game.
you gotta actually put it into perspective. The first half he was non-existent. Araujo had
Yeah.
it in his pocket, but you saw once the second half kicked off, he bet him once. After that, that's it. Araujo wasn't in the game. So what does that imply? He was
mean,
unplayable.
True, but I would say that for other players then too, because Araujo
Fair
wasn't
play.
the only player, that was bad in the second half, and that our
It was
players,
Marcus Alonso. Yeah, it was a combination of Barcelona players
that's
actually
the
sleeping
only
off.
reason why I wouldn't, single him out, and call him unplayable when, our entire team was really, really good tonight, and I would, in situations when a player is, so above everyone else, then I would call him unplayable. But in this
I
instance, I would
personally
have called
thought,
our team in the second half unplayable.
I think that that's a fairer way to put it, but yeah, I thought Vinicius had one of his best games of the season.
Definitely, yeah.
Like he was really good. I guess we shouldn't argue about who was the better among our own players, but let's just get into the first goal around the 44th minute, I guess. The counter, from the counter right after a brilliant Thibaut save. See, if it was any other keeper, we would be waxing lyrical. We would be writing poems about this guy. But it's been such normalcy whenever Thibaut makes unbelievable saves. It has become an ordinary action, unfolding like every time we watch him make mad saves. But right after that, um, Vinicius and Benzema's connection, and obviously Rodrigo, the ability of Rodrigo to actually attract defenders and kind of make decoy runs is so underrated, very very underrated. I should say, even though he wasn't on the score sheet or wasn't the spotlight grabber for tonight, the way he actually kind of aids Benzema and Vinicius to excel was insane. That this is why we actually need someone else to where we need to actually take the initiative. Starting Rodrigo shows us how much we miss a right-sided winger or a proper right winger, because like let's not get it twisted, Rodrigo is not even a natural right winger, and he actually helps the cause so much. Um, but yeah, man, Javier, walk us through the first goal. Benzema could have easily took a shot. Like I think 9 out of 10 strikers in Europe takes the shot, but he actually puts it back to Vinicius.
They like you said, the whole uh, sequence of plays is great. From Thibaut's save, from them, a tackle from, I think it's Alaba and Camavinga from, I think it's against Gabi. But then, like you said, Rodrigo moves the ball. They tried to foul Rodrigo. Rodrigo didn't fall down. Gives the ball to Bini. And like I said in the chat, Bini does the right thing, the intelligent thing, to pass Benzema just before the offside line. And then Benzema, like you said, does the right thing again. Moves the ball once again from Bini. And Bini has two options: to cross the ball all the way around to try to beat Ter Stegen in the long post, or what he does, a little of a dribble, and then try to hit the near post. I mean, Kunde's save was great, but not great enough, because
I think it was
because
completely see, that's the thing, man. Xavi and Barcelona they have been so over smart. Like I'll say over smart tonight with chest because we bet them 4-0, but that plan worked for large parts. Even for the first 44 minutes, it completely worked. But playing Rojo as a right back, he completely loses that instinct that he is a wing back. He should just stick with, the wide man. He gets attracted to the ball, and then Marcus Alonso is in no man's land. He doesn't know should he cover, the far post or should he stay in the middle. Like he just eventually just decides, fuck it, I'm going to just stay in the middle. That's the whole reason why it completely falls apart. Because if Conde is kind of marking one end of the post and Marcus Alonso just moves a bit to his right, I think the chances of a goal is like incredibly reduced. But That's the thing, man. They banked on Marcus fucking Alonso, Javier. Barcelona sometimes clown themselves so much that like there is a reason why they're a meme, right? It's insane.
Yeah,
It's insane.
but just to round it up, the 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 whole counter attack is what Real Madrid does the best. They're a counter attack team. All
That's the
all
thing.
the
Like
time.
I've written it in caps lock while I was making notes watching the game. Why the fuck doesn't someone play someone play their teammates in behind the back line? It's always ball to feet. Why are they so afraid to play the ball in behind, Javier? Like, I don't understand. Like, Kamavinga sees Benzema in perfect position to make a run in behind, and he turns sideways again. So many players did that, the first 45 minutes. I believe, like, if we took a little more risk, we would have scored earlier, even earlier.
That's the thing. Like you said, it's a risk. Either
Mm-hmm.
you score first, but in this game, I think Carleto and we can all probably agree on this. The first half was was Xavi's idea, until the goal,
Mm.
and the plan was moving in Barca's side.
To dominate possession, frustrate us. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Carleto was thinking, okay, we only need to score once
Mm.
to 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 go to the extra time. So he's probably saying, okay, we're gonna play this more
Mm.
cautious in the first
Mm.
half, and then
Yeah.
in the second half, if we need to, we're gonna play more attacking. But uh, what's the word? Unfortunately for us, we scored in the injury time almost. So
That
that
goal
changed
completely,
everything.
yeah, completely
That
changed
changed
the
everything.
momentum. I
Let's move
really,
on to the second goal.
yeah, like like
What happened?
before we actually move on, Javier, there's like so many comments that we have to get to, which I actually haven't.
Subscribe, guys. Subscribe. This is a
Yes.
huge moment.
Subscribe to the channel and smash the like if you haven't
And
already.
share.
Yeah, and yeah, man, spread the word, spread the word. We are here every match day. Right, lol. Doris, I hope you find his comment because this is important. Yeah. He says we want at least a 10-minute apology from Farouk for disrespecting the greatest French player in history. See. This needs much more radio space. I'm going to tell you that. Farouk is literally shaking in his bed right now
I
watching all
wish he
this.
was here, man. I wish he was here.
We
The,
say this every time, but the man,
the
he
list,
shies away
the
from
list of
conflict.
Farouk, the list of Farouk's apologies is just increasing.
Farouk is unfortunately a football purist. When you are actually a football purist, you suffer from success, like DJ Khaled. It's just part and parcel. Dennis the Great says, "I'm not sleeping on Osasuna. They have never won a major trophy. They will be fighting for their lives." Yeah, their first Copa del Rey final in 18 years. It was a massive moment. I saw the post normal time of the game, and the goal that they scored, the goal that Ibanez scored was a fucking banger. I'm not gonna lie. Bilbao, man, like if they had one good finisher, they could have scored at least 4 goals, in extra time alone, and that goes to show the Bascoli policy, is hurting them so much. I love Bilbao, man. Like I have a soft spot for them.
Last year,
Yeah.
Bilbao, man. Uh, they're a team that they're always scary to me, and I cannot say that I hate them. I
They
just
never
hate,
play negative football.
I
That's
hate to
also
play
something.
against them. And
Yeah, yeah.
last season proved that, and I'm so happy that we're not playing them. I feel like that would be an even more difficult game. Definitely. But for Osasuna, at least from my perspective, as a Croatian, and Budimir,
Bodimir, yeah.
I think
I
we're
saw.
safe on that front. Yeah.
Oh, Croatian winning the Copa del Rey. Get out of here, man. Get out, bro. But there is the great is actually saying breaking news. Frank Lampard is back at Chelsea. Oh my God. If we don't end them, man, yeah, bro. Fat Frank.
It's April Fool's Day was the first.
Fat Frank is back in the building. I hope he actually fixes his gel endorsements, because the last time I saw him managing his, like, from day one to the day he gets sacked, his hairstyles were mad. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to actually seeing his wax do's, you know. Very interesting guy, very atypical guy, Frank Lampard. Jacob is in the chat. He says the first half for me was like the Liverpool Champions League final. They dominated, but our defense and goalkeeper was gritty. We did, in the end, have the biggest chance also.
I agree.
Yeah,
That's a really good.
Completely agree.
that Rodrigo run was insane. I think the pass was from Fede or Modric, which he cut it back, and then Vinicius had a chance for a tap in, right?
And also, we can basically almost score the same goal, you know. Rodrigo cross and Vini misses by. I think he tries to hit it with his right foot and end up hitting with his left.
Araujo was really good. Like he didn't give up, you know.
Yeah.
Completely followed through with marking Vinny and got the job done. Araujo was insane, like man, like for the majority of the first half, this guy is a very good defender. Not gonna lie. Dear Sama says Ramadan Benzema is a beast, second Real Madrid player to score a hat-trick against Barca in the Nou Camp. Yes, it was the first. Ferenc Puskas, one of the greats of the game, one of the greatest goal scorers in the game. It was all the way back in 1963, bro. So, yeah. How many years has it been? 50? 60? 70? It's
I'm
insane.
very bad at math.
Me too, man. That's why I'm struggling sometimes, you know.
60.
60, yeah. It's insane. It's insane. For him to be mentioned in the same breath as people like Puskas, man.
And also, Tony, if you remember, Ferenc Puskas came to Real Madrid very
When he
late
was
in his
40.
career.
When he was 40.
Yeah.
38 or something.
So basically, you have to have like 35 plus years to score a hat trick with a Real Madrid shirt against Barcelona at Camp Nou.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we will have to wait 20 years.
I guess that's a happy coincidence. I don't want you to jinx our boys. Okay, Javier, just refrain from doing it. Hopefully someone breaks a 35-year-old, you know, barrier. Anyway. Lol says Lewandowski was scared of Kamapele. Simple. Well, I'll tell you for a fact, his dreadlocks would be definitely intimidating. It's a fine piece of art, you know, his hairdo. Tas Saliba is back in the chat. Nice to see you again, man. He says, I love this moment, but the real question is, can we sustain this kind of play? This kind not getting... I'm sorry, the poll just popped up. This kind not getting battered.
Yeah.
It's all good. This kind not getting battered. Doris, what do you think, man? Can we sustain this momentum? I believe we can.
I mean, last season, you know, we didn't expect us to do it, but we did it, you know. And we didn't score, 4 or 6 goals every game. You know, that's, far from that. We pretty much struggled every game, but we, got it done. And this season isn't any different, and we've had a few blimps in the league, but everywhere else we've showed up. The first leg against Barcelona, we have to agree, wasn't amazing. It was at home,
I remember how mad I was, man. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I was just
I think
dead.
it was us 3 after that game. Was terrible momentum.
I just thought that would like completely derail our season. I still remember putting it in our group chat that this is a season-defining game, a
Yeah,
season-defining
because
moment.
if you remember, Sonny,
Hmm.
they have even more absence than today. I mean, I think they were like
Lewandowski was missing. Yeah, Gavi was missing,
six
I
or
think.
seven top players,
Mm.
something like that, you know.
Mm. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they probably gonna use that as an excuse for today, for sure.
I think
But
the only difference maker would have been Pedri and
I
Dembele.
mean, De Jong probably,
Yeah,
probably De
De
Jong.
Jong. Oh my God, yeah, De Jong. I think is the standout absentee. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Right. Let's just talk about the second goal then. Militao, man, is he? What is he? Is he a winger? Like sometimes when I see Militao dribble, it seems funky. Yeah, it seems almost like Bruno Mars breaking a step. But this guy is insane. The close control right by the byline when he has next to no space. How does he do that, Javier? Like, is this normal for a centre back?
No, but it's
That's
normal
it.
for a top tier player.
Yeah.
Like we said time and time again, Militao is the best player in his position. A top tier player can do this kind of things, you know, recover the ball just inches from the line, and don't get me wrong, a lot of players can recover the ball in that position, but having the intelligence to pass the ball to a guy like Modric, like I'm done enough. I'm done, like you said, more than enough. You can do the rest. You have to have a lot of intelligence in that moment.
A lot of
You can do
confidence, a
everything.
lot of like, let me tell you, a lot of like let's just say very broad shoulders to actually like carry the burden, the responsibility. Because if he tries something fancy and it doesn't work, people are going to come for him. People are going to come for your throat because you're not a midfielder, you're not a winger, you're not even a fullback, you're a centre back, right? So it's insane, man. It's honestly insane. But before we get to the second goal, please just give me a couple of minutes, yeah? We need to talk about the other guy. The other guy we all predicted, him coming back into the team, is going to make a difference. He's not the best defender in the world. He's not the best defender in the team. But Alaba has this sprinkle of magic about him. He just steps into the team, everything clicks. Explain that to me, you guys. Doris, you go first, man. Like, how can you quantify what Alaba brings to the team in terms of numbers? Because I've struggled even last year because he misses so many easy headers. He kind of miskicks clearances. He's sometimes positionally off. The only thing I can credit him 100% is his ball progression from deep. But apart from that, he's not a good defender, right? But something about him just clicks for us when he's actually fit.
Yeah, and the pairing of Militao and Alaba, I mean, obviously, I think every Madridista would put both of them as a duo in, one of the, if not the best duo in the world, and Alaba, he hasn't been fit this entire season, and definitely, not didn't have the sparkle, I would say, from
Do
last
you think?
season.
Do you believe, Doris? Like, if he was fit for majority of the season, that we would be much more, we would be doing much better in La Liga and wouldn't be like 10, 12 points behind Barcelona at this stage.
I mean, we're missing both Alaba and Mendy. There's two
Mm,
players on that side, that like
facts.
that's a big deal, and missing Alaba is, I would say, it hurts us a lot, and Nacho has obviously been amazing, this season, and he's really showed us, like he's always been here, and he's always been, Nacho, and you can always rely on him. And Alaba, he came into this team last season and just, was immediately a starter, over Nacho, and hopefully, we still have both players next season, but I don't know what the fans would say if we had to choose between the two of them.
Fans
Actually,
would pick Militao for sure.
no. Between Alaba and Nacho, if one of
Oh,
them
Alaba, Nacho.
had
My
to
bad.
stay, if one of them had to stay, who would you choose? I think it's a no-brainer, but
Yeah. I would pick
what do you
Nacho.
think? What do you think?
I would have to disagree immensely with Doris because I think, I mean, today was a good game from Alaba, don't get me wrong, but I think the position is Militao's to lose. Sorry, Rudiger's to lose.
Oh yeah,
I think
definitely. But
Rudiger
I feel like
is
he's
ahead
out
of
of the
Alaba.
question, for this.
Yeah, but Rudiger, I expect him to start today.
Yeah.
I think Rudiger is far better than Alaba at this moment. In the
I
same
just
regard that
go on, Javier. My bad. Sorry.
in the same regard that I think Carvajal could give us a good 2 or 3 games per season, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think Alaba is enough, to give 2 or 3 games. Like Sonny said, the consistency of Militao is the only thing that keeps this defense together.
Yeah.
Because you can play with Lucas, Militao, but Militao is the only thing that is
Ever present, ever constant.
So, for me, today that we played with Alaba was a bit. I was worried about because I think.
Really, you were worried?
This-
I wasn't. I wasn't
yes,
worried about
for
the
sure. Because
the
this
centre back
Alaba,
pairing.
this Alaba is nowhere near Alaba's last year, but nowhere near. Like 3 weeks Benzema ago, like it didn't seem like the same player. And you
But
add,
honestly, like I'll be honest, Javier. Like I had my same gripes about Alaba, but the way he actually started the game, he missed a couple of headers, but he never lost belief. That's what I like about Alaba. He puts in some very nifty interceptions, like every now and then. Whenever I see him, and whenever like a ball is kind of near him, he just puts out a leg and kind of makes a great interception. Like I don't know. Alaba is a much better defender than we all think he is.
I know,
Like
for
that's
sure.
that's what I learned over the course of the last 18 months because I never thought he was a good defender. But he definitely has his deficiencies and whatnot. He's insane.
But if you ask me, is the fourth
Yeah.
of the center back at this moment. Is Militao 1, probably Nacho 2, Rudiger
Nacho
3,
second.
and then Alaba.
Rudiger third? Really?
Yeah.
Not for me, man. Not for me, bro.
Better than
I don't
Alaba,
know.
for sure.
That's interesting. For me, I would place Alaba third, honestly. I would play a half-fit Alaba instead of a fully fit Rudiger, but that's just me. But I was just laughing earlier because of this statement. Matter Extra put it out. Vinicius Jr. after Ferran tells him to be quiet, shut up, you're terrible. Imagine someone telling you that, right in the middle of the game. Ferran Torres, bro. Like
They
it's
cost almost the same.
60 million, right? Ferran Torres. I remember. 4 games without a goal and
They
man
still
came back.
owe money to Man City.
For Ferran, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're in some deep shit, man. Like I was listening to so much stuff on the commentary, but it's not worth discussing. Today's spotlight is ours. But yeah, quickly back to the second goal. So Militao does the unthinkable, wriggles his way out, plays it to Modric. And bro, at 37, Doris, explain it to me. Is it the Croatian genes? How does this guy get that sudden acceleration? Like enabling him to go past 3-4 players, like even I think was it Koundé or was it Alonso? I'm not sure, like who gets kind of surprised by his burst of pace and kind of like gets into a state of shock and doesn't know what to do. He completely.
Doris' smile.
I can't see Doris unless she speaks because I'm looking at the comments here.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, we are from the same city, and
Sort of.
and the genes are, obviously there. Everyone in Croatia.
Unfortunately, you only get the same genes.
Yeah, yeah.
Torres.
You've never seen
It's
me
in the
play,
water.
so you don't
It's in
know
the
how
water.
I play. We'll see one day. We'll meet on the pitch.
Oh, okay, okay, fair play, fair play.
One day.
One day.
I'll
Yeah,
show
go
you
on, go on.
the I'll show you the jeans and but yeah, obviously, I mean every post match we're talking about him, and I feel like still he's the kind of player that I think he will be there next season, and he's still the
Yeah,
kind
at
of
this point, me
player
too.
that deserves to be there, and tonight once again showed it. He to me he had an incredible game, and in the first half obviously the entire team was struggling, but in the second half, if for the entire team, after we let's just count after the 44th minute for the next day, let's just forget what happened, let's focus on the goals, and he was involved in the game, and created some chances. Unfortunately, I feel like he could have done better on the Rodrigo chance, but for the second goal, obviously from a 37-year-old, it feels nice, especially against Xavi. Exactly,
Yeah, enough said, against Xavi. Um, it's insane. It's insane. Samuel yesterday he picked Xavi over people like Cruz and Guardiola, but it is what it is. It is what it is. We gotta respect Samuel Marston after all. But yeah, man, it still surprises me. This guy just keeps on going, keeps on going. He never gives up. Modric has this in him. He has been a warrior, like all throughout his childhood. Like I've read so much up about how he actually overcame every single obstacle in his life, and it goes to show. It goes to show. I'm telling you for a fact, if this was any other player, and he was a little below what Modric is doing at this moment in time, people would be questioning, oh, you know what? Like, we need to actually get him out and give the youngsters minutes, because it is the youngsters who are actually going to be here for the next 10 years and not a 37-year-old player. But since it's Modric, and since it's the consistency and the level at which he plays is insane, people have no choice but to shut up, right, Javier? Because if you ask the more out there, the more maybe alternate fans of our club, like they would always side with the notion that the youngsters should be given more minutes. We should be easing out the old guard. The three-peat is done. The Champions League, all the glory. Yeah, we would thank them, but adios would be the sentiment. But when someone like Modric is playing the way he is, even the most harshest of critics, they can't speak.
yeah, and it's crazy that we almost feel angry about it, like n- not me, obviously not me, but
Not me either. Not me either, bro.
yeah,
I'll tell you
but
that.
a lot of fans, I feel like that's it, Javier, that's it. I
What
feel
what
like
what did he say? What did he show? I can't see him.
he's wearing a Modric
Oh, okay. Fair play, fair play.
one,
The Cristiano
the
zest special.
purple one.
Yeah, the purple one.
Anyway, what was I saying? I forgot. I lost my track.
You're just pointed out how impressive Modric is. Like this guy has talent through and through. The only way that anyone can define or trying to define Modric is talent. And just to point that out, I think that Sonny is saying, and I'm one of those guys that constantly saying like, we need to play to find someone to replace Modric. I mean, this guy is 37 and blah 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 blah. But in the same way, I agree with Sonny. If you have a 37 player or a 17-year-old player that
Mm,
did age didn't need to matter. You
mm,
need to think as a club
yeah.
or who's gonna substitute. But in the day to day, Carleto is right. Carleto is right to point it Luka Modric whenever he can, and rest him for the entire game against Valladolid was the right choice, the right thing to do. You know, hey, you are 37. Probably you're not gonna be fully fit to play Sunday and then Wednesday. It doesn't matter. I need you on Wednesday, so you're gonna be fully rested,
Mm,
and that's also a great manager and player understanding of each other. Like Tony Cross played today for I think the entire game. I wouldn't expect that, but I would expect Tony Cross to have no minutes
yeah.
against Big because probably he's gonna start against Chelsea. And this
Mm,
kind of subtle movements is
yeah.
what a Carleto, the manager of Real Madrid, and us dump fans because we can talk and talk and oh, how does he play with Tony and Modric?
Mm.
Works it
The
works.
Ceballos, start Ceballos, Danny Ceballos. But I've told this countless times. I told this even last week. Danny Ceballos is a good player, is a nifty player, is a much needed squad player, but he doesn't have the sample size. His career doesn't have the sample size of big performances in big matches. Unfortunately, and he
But
has to
once
come.
again, sorry, I love Danny. I think Danny has a chance to shine at
Mm.
Real Madrid. Once again, don't get me wrong. Luka Modric came to Real Madrid older than Danny Ceballos is.
Yeah,
So we
29.
have time. We have time.
But people
And
just can't be patient. It's the way of life. It's the way of life.
I mean,
But let's just quickly move on. Modric plays the ball, and then Benzema. The Benzema a couple of months back doesn't find that finish, Javier. Doesn't find that finish, bro. That venom in the shot, the placement, the shot selection, everything. So fine. So finely
don't say
poised.
months ago, weeks ago.
Weeks ago.
Like
Weeks ago. Facts.
like the second half of March,
Mm.
or even like next 2 weeks ago. This I mean it's
Like you,
almost
you weren't
forgotten.
here. You and Doris weren't here for the post match against Valladolid, and I mentioned it. If he actually scored that acrobatic volley, I'm telling you, he's back. It is if he actually even attempts that, it means that he's in complete control of his body and has the confidence to actually trust his body. Imagine, I'm going to make the same example I made in the post match against Valladolid. Bro, the head against Chelsea, the way he kind of angles his body and kind of redirects the ball from the angle it came from. That's reminiscent of everything that Benzema is actually doing in recent weeks. Like, is this, in your opinion? In my opinion, he is absolutely back. But in your opinion, is he actually in peak form again?
I mean, two hat tricks in a row. You can only hope so, you know. And we have huge games coming up, so he better be. I'm kidding, but
That's
I agree with Doris. I mean,
Doris is an angry stepmom at this
I'm
point.
kidding,
But
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
he's 90% there. 90.
90, yeah. So still not
And
21,
Chelsea,
22, but he's getting there.
if he managed to do
Mm.
something near this against Chelsea on Wednesday,
Yeah.
he's back. The momentum is on Wednesday. I really don't care about the game. I think
Where
it's
are
Sunday, Saturday. I don't care.
Saturday. 3 p.m. kickoff
All I
for
know
us.
is they can play me
Mm.
in the attack.
Mm.
I hope Carleto gives some Castilla players their moment, rest almost everyone, um, because they need to be laser focused on Wednesday.
Mm.
Carry on with this momentum and laser focus against Chelsea.
Facts. I think Carlo is going to be doing the same. I don't know about Benzema getting benched. I don't think it'll happen. But we can wish, you know, we can just wish. Let's just quickly get into some of the comments. Right, hope Doris is with me to actually scroll a bit back. I'm gonna just look for some of the interesting ones, Doris. Right, Saliba was asking us, what do you think of Pochettino? If someone wants to answer for me, I don't rate the guy. He is just hype. He has proven stuff with Tottenham, but I think the standards, the expectations, the minerals with Chicken Shit FC is different with us, man. Honestly, it's different. Right, Tasaliva also says, I think he's a good coach to give chance to a current squad. I don't think, man. Unfortunately, bro. Yeah, I don't think so, bro. So many names are being thrown around, but yeah, man. I don't get the vibes with any of them. I want someone like Raul or Zidane to even come back. You know, it's terrorist football. You know, at times with Zidane, it can get dire, but it's more
If I'm
than
gonna give the chance to anyone, I should give it to
Xabi Alonso.
Xabi Alonso. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's gonna ditch the Leverkusen ship soon. You know,
Real
he
Madrid,
just
inactivity.
yeah. That's also something that you know, completely changes the equation. Right. Dennis says, I think Milan will humble Napoli. I hope so too, bro. Milan is something I have a liking for as well. But the Serie A matchup, I think their mind was on the Champions League fixture. So the 4-0 win in Serie A, I don't think it counts for much. They're like, what, 15 points ahead of Milan. Debelsa Villafranca is back. Nice to see again. She says, the best Real Madrid historical clase, or is it in Spanish? I'm not sure. Javier, you got to help me. But let's just quickly move on. Lol says it was 2006 in the back-to-back La Liga win. Oh, the last 4-0 win against Barcelona? Right. So it was not 2004, Javier. I think it was
So
2006.
sad, bro. That's so
Yeah,
sad.
it's been a long time away,
Let's
you
move
know.
on. Yeah.
Dennis the Great says, but in the champ.
Look, never come back with those stats on this pod again, please. That's just a downer. That's
So
not
you
even a
you
good
just
thing.
want the hype stats, yeah?
No, like that just made me really depressed, you know. Like if we look at the big picture, you know, winning this one doesn't, you know, beat it, you know, not winning for over 15 years. What'd you say?
No. Like you would actually want the hype stats, just the hype stats.
No.
Nothing.
I'm just saying, like that was really depressing.
It's well in 2006. How
Barcelona
old were you?
related.
We were all very young. I haven't seen us
I
in
was
2006.
I was 8.
You're right. Right. But it is what it is, man. Like Barcelona, it's their time. Unfortunately, Messi's gonna come back next year, and they're gonna be even better. We'll have to just, you know,
It's not
like,
gonna happen.
you never know, bro. You never know. I think it might. But with the financial situation, I get it. Yeah, the financial situation is not ideal, for sure.
At this point in time, they need to register Araujo's.
Yeah,
Gavi's
Gavi. Yeah.
Would you rather, if you're Barca president, would you rather bring back Messi or have Araujo and Gavi in your squad?
Bro, what is it about Araujo? I wasn't at the know. Is something wrong with his contract as well?
I mean, I don't know the exact details, but I think it's has to do with something of the fair play financial. bullshit.
Oh, well.
And I think they need to, because they have the cap of the financial something. They need to lower
Their overall wage budget or something, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think Gabi is simpler than, because they have a contract for the young squad.
Yeah.
But I think Araujo is the same, because Araujo was from the
Academy.
Barcelona. I think it's the same.
Mm.
Only Araujo is a little older.
I wasn't in the know, Araujo, I think it was sorted, but yeah, man, it's peak for Barcelona. Jacob was saying Alaba against Haaland gives me shivers. Oh my god. The reach that Haaland can get on a leap, Alaba is gonna be having nightmares. It's gonna be that picture, the very famous picture of
But once again, would you rather have Alaba or Rudiger against Haaland?
against Haaland. I would like Rudiger's physical presence. Yeah.
For sure.
But Alaba, you guys are underestimating Alaba's
I'm not
fine,
underestimating.
bro. You will see for yourself how Alaba is gonna help us so much in winning something big this season. I mean, the Copa del Rey, I think, is in the bank, but the other one, the big years, hopefully, fingers crossed. Danielson Emmanuel is back in the chat. Nice to see you again, man. He says, big up, guys. Ala Madrid. Vamos Madrid. Young Farol also back. He says, last match, the refs robbed Asensio. This is payback. Yeah, you could say that. I think it was a clear offside, but it is what it is. Dennis the Great also says Militao is the best centre back in the world. I've been telling people this. My man, your girlfriend, he's better than Varane. There is a reason we sold Varane. I think it's aimed at Jacob. Insane stuff. Danielson says, to be honest, we were the best team even in the last La Liga game. I don't know, we woke up for the last 20-30 minutes, but yeah. Young Faro says, Alaba plays like Cruz. The World Cup drained a lot of the Real Madrid players. Yeah, we have been actually discussing how the break in schedule and the World Cup kind of completely threw off the squad. But yeah, Ashik is also back. My niece baby did it again. Yeah, he did actually mention he would try to get his niece to watch, and I guess, man, bro, mabruk ya sheikh. Finally, I think your niece came out to be a lucky charm. But quickly, before we wrap it up in the next 15 minutes or so, let's just look at the third goal, man. Javier, how does Vinicius get into opponent's head? Like, how does he piss someone off just by existing? Kessie knew that he wasn't going anywhere. He was being double teamed on one end of the D without really any line of sight to do anything productive. But he just flicks his foot out and we earn a pen out of nothing. I think it's the easiest penalty I've seen any of our players earn in my lifetime. Like, it was so easy. It was so easy.
Yeah, like you said, Beanie is consistent, in anything that he does. If he tries to dribble, he will dribble 100 million times per game. If he tries to get in the head of the rivals, he will get in the head of the rivals. But I mean, Kessie shows that he's not a defensive midfield. This is a dumb mistake by him. In the same regard, I don't know if you guys saw the game from Manchester United against Barcelona. It's the same dumb penalty that Bruno Fernandes committed. He's like you said, a player that is going nowhere. Vini has zero chance to create a goal from that position, and KCM make a dumb mistake. As simple as that. I mean, but that's what Vini does. 2 or 3 minutes prior to that, he breaks Araujo's waist, and now they say like, okay, KCM, you need to help me because I'm not longer enough to contain Vini. That's why Vini is great, because he tries, and when he finally break one of the greatest defense in the game, it's game over, because Vini now smells the blood, and now he's gonna do it every single time. So, I mean, Vini is fantastic.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, I agree with every word because Araujo is one of the finest in the game, and for him to be demoralized and be completely broken, it was a sight to behold. I didn't expect like see the like we all saw the first half, right? Like how the script in the first half unfolded. I would definitely think 9 times out of 10 the night is going to end with Vinicius having a very frustrating night out in Barcelona where he doesn't get a sniff. Doris, how does this man always attempt to turn the tide around and comes through with flying colors? Like, is it just down to the fact that he never stops trying, or is Vinicius that talented that eventually his tricks are gonna come off?
Persistence plus talent, it's Vinicius. I think those two words, describe him very well, and we all know how we play. We constantly pass to Vinicius. We rely so much on him. Basically, every attack usually is from Vinicius. Him doing something and him being persistent and always helping the team. And even when he doesn't have a good game, it's usually because of his temper. But tonight he knew what was gonna happen, and it's like for the entire team. It's El Clasico, like it is the biggest game in Spain, and obviously he is going to be provoked, especially from Araujo, and I think he did amazing in the second half, especially. It was really really good, and given his age, we can only hope that he keeps going like this. And last season, I mean, if we didn't have him, Vinicius, we would be nowhere. I mean, we can talk about Rodrigo, but it's Vinicius. We cannot, take that away from him. It's him every week, every single week. He plays 90 minutes, Vinicius. And even, he doesn't always play incredible, but tonight was definitely one of the times that he was good. And even when he's bad, he's still usually the only one, doing something in the attack.
Yeah, you can say he's not had a good game, but rarely you can say that he has a non
Existent game. Yeah. Like the penalty was never a doubt. Like I genuinely I'm the most pessimistic of supporters. Yeah, like I'll be honest. Like I lose faith quickly. I've been very open about that. I lose faith very quickly, and between games, like I fear the worst because I would like to prepare myself to be not disappointed. But for that penalty, I literally celebrated. Like I posted in the chat. Like I literally celebrated even before I saw Benzema put it away. I was that confident that he's going to do it. But let's get to the fourth goal. How Vinicius does.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on, Javi.
If you allow me, I have a start on that penalty. So this is a start for Mr. Chip. He's a Spanish statistic man.
I've heard of him.
Real Madrid had scored 32 out of the last 33 penalties in those Clásicos. The last time that they missed was in 1991 with Barcelona. And then he says Real Madrid has never failed a penalty at the Camp Nou. We have never missed a penalty. He put it in all caps. This is impressive. Not missing a penalty
at the home of our biggest rivals. It's mad, man. With all that pressure, but like 90,000 people breathing down your neck, mad stuff. Yeah, but yeah, the pen wasn't in doubt, man. But great start, like all the way back to Butragueño. Yeah, like that's another generation, like couple of generations ago. Like so many records, so many great records were put up on board tonight. But the fourth goal, man, I need to talk about it because on first glance it looks very effortless, like Vinicius, yeah, like he is so silky. He does have the ability to pick a pass, but the way he kind of juggles it from his left to his right, or from his right to left, I'm not sure, but he basically uses both his feet to kind of weight the ball. It's mad stuff, man. Like, this guy is insane. Like, he barely has what, like half a second to do that before Kunde gets to him, you know still finds the pass, and the pass was perfectly weighted, so much that Benzema, all he had to do was take all the weight off of the ball and just dink it. Was effortless, like poetry in motion. Yeah, man, Doris, like, your thoughts on the fourth goal? It was as easy as it gets.
I mean, it was perfect. Actually, I would say like the chance before that Benzema had, it would have been perfect, to complete the hat trick, but nothing to really take away from him. It was a good goal, and really good to complete it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we can only hope that he keeps going like this, and two hat tricks in 2 games, and our team scoring 10 goals and conceding 0 in the last 2 games. It's incredible, and Benzema scoring 6 of those. I mean,
who would have predicted that? Yeah, nobody would have. And Javier Araujo actually said Benny needs to focus on playing. Well, I think he focused on playing, right, in the second half.
I saw that. And Araujo needs to focus on his team and not the
Yeah.
But if you guys, you're missing one key moment before the fourth goal. 1,037,000 Madrid wins the ball against Gavi in our box. Like, the pass that allows Bini to run was a recover for this ancient magician against Gavi. He's 20
against Gavi, who is supposedly a pit bull. They call him a pit bull, Javier.
The difference between a Ballon d'Or one and a Rob Golden Boy.
Arab Golden Boy. I like the ring of it.
They have 20 years difference. I mean, if you guys later you can rewatch the game. I'm for sure I'm gonna do it. But that was a key moment. Modric recovers the ball from Gavi and then pass to Vini, and then Vini does the magic thing. But sorry, you're gonna...
No. Like, see, if you want to talk about recoveries and that resulting in goals, I think the first goal was actually the hard work of Camavinga again. Our players, like, that's what Carlos' teams and even Zidane's teams have done so effortlessly. And I think compared to all these teams that play good football, or see, it's like most of the good teams that I've seen growing up were either one of these. They can't do both these things simultaneously. I'll tell you for a fact, Guardiola's Barcelona was so effortless in how they actually moved the ball. They never really needed to do the dirty work, unless on a few occasions, like every other team does. Like the 2015 Barcelona team, the Luis Enrique team, was so free flowing and so top heavy. I don't think they needed to defend as much. I've seen most of their games. I used to watch them and used to think, what are we going to do against MSN? They're just unplayable, But what Carlos' teams and Zidane's teams, in my humble opinion, does very well is actually have the flair, have the nous to actually play expansive football when they want to, pick the right pass and whatnot, fancy tricks, back heel flicks for days. but also have the desire to get stuck in, put the rough challenges in, stop a counter attack, stop the transition. Like how Militao was constantly looking for a foul, when he was he was elbowed in the back in the first half by Lewandowski, which the referee turned a blind eye on. But in my humble opinion, this perfect balance is what actually made us win so many Champions Leagues. Yeah, if you guys have anything to add to that, do you guys share my sentiment, Doris and Javier?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm doing the comments. Yeah, can you repeat the question, please?
Forget it.
I was doing the comments.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's
Okay, so for me,
it's something we agree on, anyways.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
Javier?
was thinking of what you were saying, that
Right.
the Real Madrid way for the past, I don't know, 15 years has been doing the counter attack better than anyone. Like you said, especially against positional teams. Like Mourinho was the foundation of what a counter attack can do. And then Carleto, I'm not saying that Carleto pick it up from Mourinho. They're completely different teams, but the counter attack persists. The only thing that with Carleto, we play a lot of more position, but with Zidane, being Zidane a number 10, he loves to play counter attack. He would love to the other team have the 99% of the time of the ball, and then we can counter every single day. Because, like you said, we have players that are so smart with the ball, and also so smart without the ball. Like you said, those Barca teams didn't need to play counter attack because they have the ball 99% of the time. But when we lost the ball, when we lose the ball, Modric, Kroos, Fede. We don't talk about Fede's today, but Fede in the second half was pivotal to the recovery of the game because he was free. They freed Fede because he has no longer.
So many unsung heroes, like some people were calling out Rodrigo, saying that he had a bad game. In my opinion, he didn't have a bad game. Yes, he had a quiet game by his standards, but he was helping us progress the ball. He was actually helping us open up space so much. Yeah, man, Javier, we would definitely miss out on players. That doesn't mean that they had a poor game, like you said, Fede was, yeah.
I don't know who says this in the chat, but come on, we won 4-0 at Camp Nou. No one had a bad game. No one.
No, it's not a bad game. They were just mentioning that some players were actually quiet, and Barcelona were poor. It's like I mentioned it earlier in the episode. We are a club with millions of fans, and we'll all have very different opinions on stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, let's just quickly get to some of the comments and call it a night, I guess. Right. Dennis was actually mentioning earlier. Wait, Young Furrow was actually mentioning Nacho's future captain. I hope he gets the chance to actually be one, bro. I genuinely wish he gets to do that. I believe that there is a new contract on the table, and I think there is a high chance that he might think about it, but I'm not sure if he's going to accept it or deny it yet. It'll just depend on how his playing time and importance to the side is going to be the last couple of months. I just hope he stays. He is genuinely one of the best players in the team, hands down. As the great says, Carvajal was poor at the start but grew into the game. Yeah, I literally had written in my notes, the first major chance that Barcelona had was down Carvajal's flank, that the vital Camavinga clearance, I think in the second minute or something. So I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be more of the same that we have been seeing for the second half of the season. But yeah, he grew into the game, and that pass for Rodrigo was insane outside of the boot. Modric-esque, Baggio-esque, Rui Costa-esque, you could call it, like mad stuff. Carvajal has that in his arsenal. Like he's a very underrated passer of the ball. Like sometimes you just don't pay much attention to a wing back's passing ability, unfortunately, unless you're Trent and you get called the next Cafu. But it's for another episode. Dennis Agret also mentions Militao is so consistent. I'm happy we sold Varane and he is showing us how good he is. Yeah, man. There is not many adjectives left for us to praise Militao. He's one of the best. Ferran Torres hold that. Yeah, Ferran Torres more often than not holds it, apart from the 4-0 trophy they won last year. Modric is not human. He is the best midfielder to play for Madrid. Yeah, high praise. I don't want Messi to go back. I hope he goes Saudi Arabia. Well, I think that might be on the cards. Finally, to wrap it up, Ashik says, once again, people, you don't sit on a one-goal lead against Real Madrid with 90 minutes to play and expect to get over the line without any pain. Yeah. Sitting on a lone goal lead against Real Madrid with 90 minutes to go is as bad as a goalless match, regardless of where you play. Yeah, it's a lesson that people seldom learn. Like it is something that they bank on, probably. When you don't kill Madrid, they kill you. Xavi Hernandez must have been painful to admit. Did he actually say that in the post match? Oh my God, that's a man defeated, man. That's a man battered. But yeah, guys, any final thoughts, Javier and Doris, before we go?
I'm tired
I
and
mean, just
hungry, but really happy. That's pretty much it.
no, I'm glad that, like we all said, like I'm glad that this result came because we so desperately need this, this game to shut out everyone, to shut the fuck up every single Barca fan out there. The 4-0 Cup, it's over. Okay, it's over. You can talk about La Liga anything that you want, but the fact is that Real Madrid is a better team, and this game only confirmed that to me. We're in good hands. We need to trust Carleto. We need to trust our players, and hopefully, we said we have already. I already said this like 6 times this year, but for sure, this is the momentum that we need. The next week and a half is the most crucial thing. Is Chelsea, and we see how the other teams move. Like it could be completely different if it's Man City or Bayern. Both of those teams are competing in La Liga. I think Bayern is gonna win Bundesliga, unfortunately, but I think City is in the same position as Liverpool last season. They don't have any room to spare.
They're not gonna take their remaining games lightly. They're gonna just play every game like a final. From now until the end of the season. City are very dangerous for sure. Yeah, that's gonna be
Just
mad. Mm.
I wanna beat everyone. Just enjoy this moment because it's rare. Like you said, we have to wait almost 20 years to beat Barca 4 down. We have wait to beat Barca 9 years in La Copa del Rey. So enjoy this moment, share with all your friends, especially those Barca friends. Um,
I have no voice. I have no voice since the league is out of reach. I'm gonna celebrate, of course, in their faces, but it's not
Sonny, they
Similar.
have already lost La Liga last season, and
I know, I
they
know, I know.
celebrated for the
But
Copa.
we aren't that petty to celebrate a 4-0 win. I mean, it's a win in a semi-final. I get it, but I don't think I can really get at them. Unfortunately, I'm just talking about my friends. I know my friends.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, my Barca mates have seen so much more success in Clasico specifically for me to actually be chest out yet. You know, soon enough, soon come. Hopefully. I was reading. Carlo was saying tomorrow is a free day. Apparently, after tonight. You know, like he's actually letting the shackles off. Nice to see. Also, Rodrigo 150 appearances. That's also a massive achievement. Right,
Already.
Dennis. Sorry, Doris.
Already, it sounds when you say 150, it's like a big number, but you know, hopefully he gets 4 times that much.
Yeah, I'm into that.
And
I'm
also,
into that.
today, Benzema move on in the Clásicos. I think he equalized Raúl. He's
He's
goal.
above Raul. He's now 17 goals, I think. 2 behind Di Stefano and Cristiano for most goals by a Real Madrid player in a Clasico. Right. Also, guys, appreciate you guys, you know, always being here, especially Dennis, the regulars, Ashik, lol. You know, you could go on and on. It's a really humbling experience to actually, you know, interact with you like after every game, before every game. Without you guys' support, like we wouldn't actually do anything. Honestly, it is the eagerness of you guys to actually come on and make this a two-way street, a two-way conversation, is why we actually get up and do this, man. Look at Doris. Do you think she is in any sort of a human state at this point? She's not, right? She is gone. She's literally cursing me in her mind,
I'm
you know,
so
to end
white.
the stream.
I'm so pale right now. Like I see
Yeah.
myself in the camera. I don't feel so good, honestly.
Yeah, she barely looks human at this point. So yeah, man, like smash the like up for you know the all the hard work all these guys put in, you know. And also if you are new here, you know, like don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow our partners Instagram on Instagram, Real Madrid Committee. The links are in the description below. We'll be having the Villarreal preview hopefully on Friday, so watch out for that. Turn on your notification bells on so that you guys are in the know. So until then, man, one of the best days of my life, one of the best victories in my life. Couldn't ask for anything more. Ala Madrid, man. Ala Madrid.
Madrid.